Hi everyone, welcome to Chador's house. Recently we moved overseas to Korea. Today, we would like to share our experience moving to Korea with a cat. The first thing you must do is find a USDA accredited vet. This is an optional certification, so not every vet has it. Call your vet and ask if they are USDA accredited. If they are not, you should ask them for a recommendation, or you can search your zip code on the website fs.usda.gov.
There are several things you need to prepare before you can get on the plane. The process is pretty long and also expensive, so we don't recommend bringing your cat overseas unless you'll be there for a long time. Also, this guide applies to Korea only. Other countries will have their own rules, so please check the government website for your country. It's important to know that if you find a new vet, you must establish your pet as their patient before you can proceed. This generally means a checkup appointment, and in our case, we were able to get the rabies vaccination during the initial checkup, so we weren't delayed by this.
About 3 to 5 weeks after the rabies vaccine, you can return to the vet for a rabies titer test. This test involves drawing blood from your pet and shipping the blood to the lab in Kansas. This test costs $400 and the result takes 4 to 6 weeks to receive.
During these visits, you should also implant a microchip in your pet if they don't already have one. Make sure the microchip number is displayed on every form, test result, and certification from your vet.
Before you fly, you should have a TSA and airline-approved carrier for your pet. You can find the dimension on the airline website. If you need a recommendation, we have a video reviewing the expanding carrier we used on our channel.
Once you receive your rabies titer test result, you can have your vet fill out the USDA health certificate found on the USDA APHIS website. It is important to note that you should not fill this out more than 10 days before your flight. Once you have the health certificate filled out, you must bring it, as well as a copy of your rabies vaccine certificate and rabies titer test result, to the USDA APHIS building for endorsement. There will be a payment form at the building, and it costs $121 for one cat, and you can pick the paperwork up after 2 days.
During COVID, the LA office is only open at a very specific time. To drop off the forms, you must go between 8 and 9 a.m. on a weekday. To pick up the forms, you must go between 2:30 and 3 p.m. on a weekday.
When you buy your airline ticket, we recommend that you buy directly from the airline and not from a third-party website. This is because you will need to call the airline ahead of time to reserve a spot for your pet, as there is a limit to how many animals are allowed on a flight. We recommend to call when you buy your ticket, as well as a week prior to flying to confirm.
When you get to the airport, you will need to pay the airline's pet reservation fee. For Asiana, the fee was $200. We pay for this at the back check counter.
Once you've completed all of this, the only thing left is the flight. I won't say it was easy to fly with a cat. Chadol was obviously stressed out and meowed for about 5 hours straight during the flight. Thankfully, we had the expanding carrier, so she had plenty of room to move around and was relatively comfortable.
After landing in Incheon Airport, it was 7 hours before we arrived home in Busan. This was due to the quarantine process here in Korea. In total, the trip was almost exactly 24 hours.
We won't be traveling internationally with Chadol again for some time, especially during COVID, which made the process much longer and more difficult. However, we hope this helps other people who are in a similar situation to us and need to move during this time.
That's all we got. And remember, it's Chador's house. We just live here.